Hi. Hi, everyone. Uh,
Uh,
hi, I hope everyone can hear me. Hi, Roy.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm sorry we were running late to start our meeting today. I'm delighted you're here, and we're going to get started in a minute, and I hope people will be able to join us on Facebook. Um, as we get to talk about your books and talk about what you're doing a really great job. You're such a great inspiration, not just to our young ones, but to people out there at your age. What you are accomplishing and what you have accomplished is really wonderful. So I'm so delighted and so happy about it. Just because I want us to be able to get people to watch the video. I want us to take a few minutes break, but let me just say that he's a wonderful young man, and let me say I said he was 19 years old on my post.
uh,
I know, but he's actually 21 years old. He's the legal age of drinking, but I hope he's not. But I'm so delighted that he's here. So we're going to be talking about about his books, and also we're going to be talking about the work he's doing to help other people realize their dreams of becoming authors and being able to publish their books. So welcome, Roy.
Thank
Here,
you.
thank you so much. So in 1 minute or two, you can tell us who you are, where you're from, what
Okay.
you do, and welcome to ebook joint.
Thank you. Hey, thank you so much for inviting me, and I'm really glad to be doing this interview with you. I've enjoyed the past few interviews that you've done, and really glad to be the featured guest for today. Now, for that 1 minute, did you ask for the Kikuyu version of my story or the American version?
I whichever whichever is whichever you feel comfortable giving.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm from Kenya. For those of you who may not know, my name is Roy Kamau. I am 21 years old. I am a speaker and author, and also a publisher and author coach. I came here in the US about 9 years ago with my family, and been here in the US for 12 years. I'm currently a senior at Oral Roberts University pursuing my international business degree. So I finished my classes this year, finished my degree this year. Mom's going to be really happy. But I'm also a business owner. I help people write and publish books basically through a 90-day process that helps you learn the writing strategies you need. Also, at the same time, helping you with your editing, marketing, and launch plan. And really, it's just a privilege and an honor that I'm able to help people that way. I started this about a year ago after being approached by many people after some experiencing some level of success with my own books myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's the American version. Maybe you can give.
The Kikuyu version. we'll get. I think we can get to that. Yeah, sure. The Kikuyu version
Yeah.
is that, like most people think that I was born with this gift of writing. Whenever you're a good speaker, people think you're born a great speaker, but the truth is, I learned Kikuyu was my first language. Swahili was my second language, and sometimes it still betrays me. My R's and L's roll uh,
Yeah.
as the Greek does. But in school, I actually ended up failing writing because I used a Swahili word in an essay, and even I hated writing in school. I went to summer school for it. What most people don't know is that I would have never thought I'd be an author. I never would have thought I'd be a writer. But when God grabs a hold of you, he uses the foolish things of the world to confound the wise. And long story short, for the past 5 to 6 years, I've been writing books and sharing the message that God always gives me to inspire people through his word, through inspiration and encouragement. And I would say that is my passion, to really be a light to as many people as I can.
That's good. Thank you so much. So
Yeah.
that's a good Kikuyu version. Now you get to we get to meet the real Kikuyu who has an accent, but you can't tell you are Kikuyu because your English is Perfect. Um,
Uh,
So let's get started talking about your books. I did get a chance to read your books, and both of them are great books. I don't know which one came first, but I know I got to read the Love is a guide on how to love your neighbor first, and also there's Trust Without Borders. So both of them are great books, and I'm so delighted that you did write them. I don't have the hard copies with me. I read the ebook. One of them is an ebook
okay.
book. The other one is a hard copy, but I'm still waiting for my copy. So Amazon is owes me. Was it Amazon or I ordered it through your website?
You
Uh,
ordered it through, yeah, through when you order through the website, it does take a little bit longer, but it should be either in the next 2 days. You should be able to get it. Yeah.
okay, but I did be able to I have Prime, so I was able to read it through Amazon.
Awesome.
So, what inspired you to write the books, and, what message did you want to bring across to the people who read the books?
Yeah. So that first book was born out of a season of trusting God. I remember as a 15-year-old, new believer, I was excited to follow Jesus. I was excited to know his ways. And I remember being in the house one time. I was in a season of prayer and fasting, and that year I had been writing on my blog and just sharing encouraging posts that were centered around faith. And during that season, the Lord had me asked me if I would say he commanded me, I would say he requested me
Yeah,
to delete the blog and actually take away, delete it, get rid of it and everything. I didn't know at the time that he was preparing me for something bigger, because all I saw was what was in front of me and what was working. But
yeah,
he said I needed you to take your time and and energy that you were putting into the blog into this book called Trust Without Borders, teaching my people how I want them to trust me. And that was a message I wrote in 2018. My second book, Love Is, was born out of a desire and a heart to serve others. I've always been one to help the helpless, to see those who were neglected, those who were rejected. It's a part of my story. And that book, I wrote it in 2019, which was born out of a time where everyone was all about love. It was Valentine's season,
yeah.
but God wanted a specific message about love. How does the church define it? How does the world define it? But how does the Bible actually define love?
Okay,
And that was a book that was born out of that season.
okay. So that's very inspirational of you at your young age to be able to share your story. And I'm so delighted that you were able to do that. You were able to, to come out and share what was in your heart, and follow yourself to be able to do that. If, one of the questions that I can ask you is that, love is, I did read that book, and it talks a lot about love. In this world, we need a lot of love. Today, we need a lot of love. So my question is, what is love? What are the four things that define what love is,
Yeah.
biblically? Because I know you're basing this based on the Bible.
Yeah, yeah, that's good. A really good question. I've always believed that love is the greatest of all. We know in scripture it says these three exist: faith, love, and hope. But the biggest one is, love. When we're without love, we have nothing. I
Yeah,
believe that love is the lifeline of humanity. And if I were to describe love in four ways, I would really just first talk about how most people know it as. When you hear the word "I love you," hey, you have a feeling, right? Is that what God meant when he was saying, walk in love, that they will know you by the way you love, by
yeah,
your feeling, the same feeling that you have when you say "I love ice cream"? No, it's not that. So is it a feeling? Yes, but that's a level, right? There's a levels to love. So the first one is a feeling. The
yeah,
second one is, we know the church talks about it, action, right? Because when you love something, you have a inclination to move towards it. God so loved the world that he gave. God so loved, feeling, it led to an action. And so we know that, okay, then love has to be action. Then what is it? If I don't have the feeling,
Yeah.
can I still be able to love someone? Yes, I believe so, because you can still make it a decision, and a decision is different from action. So if you look at it as a decision, you can be able
Yeah.
to decide, you know what, I'm going to love you even if I don't have the first one, the feeling. And even if I don't think that that feeling is going to lead me to an action, I don't feel this action in this moment, but I'm going to choose. But the last one, which most people skip over, is when Paul was talking about love as a garment. Put on love, put on love, put on ahava, which is the Hebrew word for love,
Yes.
right? And so when you think of love as a garment, that will help you always keep in mind, at the forefront of your mind, how you should prepare yourself. How do you put on love as a garment? Well, that means that you have to go get it somewhere. Your clothes, you didn't just somehow birth them out of
Yeah.
yourself, right? You had to go somewhere to buy your clothes. So when you wake up in the morning, you put on clothes. You don't walk out the house without clothes. The same way, you should not walk out of your house without the garment
Yeah.
of love, because you prepared for the meetings, but did you prepare for the people who you were meeting? And so we need that love. And how we get that love as a
Yeah.
garment, it's by spending time with the one who is love, which the Bible says God is love. And he gives us that garment so we can go out there.
Yes.
Yes, you have your clothes on, but you have the garment of love that you're able to meet
Yes.
face to face with the people that you interact with on a daily.
Okay. Um, yeah. So that's, that really, that good explanation really makes it makes it understandable the way you discuss it in the book. For those who are joining us, we are talking with Roy Kamau, and we are talking about his books. He does have two books. He's 21 years old with two books that he has been able to publish. Really good books. They are books that talks about love and also talks about faith. In the biblical sense. So that's what we are talking about. And he just discussed about his past. I don't know which one comes first, Roy.
Yeah.
Which
So
one
the
came
first one,
first? The love is,
yeah.
or the other one?
Yeah, Trust Without Borders came first. The
Okay.
second one is Love Is. And I
Yeah.
actually did write a third one, which was a devotional that came out last November, I believe, called 7 Days of Love.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's good. Um, so one of the other question I can ask is that in the Trust Without Borders, it talks about faith in God, and I know as a young man, you are a young man, and I can see a lot of faith in you, and I see a lot of faith that you have in God. How do you grow your faith? How does one grow their faith from that small faith? Jesus telling his disciples that you of little faith. How does one grow their faith?
Oh, do you want the question, the answer that people like, or the answer that most people don't like? Which one?
You know what? Whichever is in the book.
Yeah,
I usually tell my authors, don't give the whole book because I want
gotcha.
people to go buy that book and read. So don't give the whole book, but give
Yeah,
whatever you have discussed in that book.
yeah.
Let it be the one that you feel. Yeah.
Yeah, in my first book, Trust Without Borders, the premise of the book is this: your trials and tribulations are not borders of separation,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
but they're
Yeah.
bridges of invitation. How do you grow your faith? James talks about count it all joy, my brothers and sisters, for the trials of many kinds are producing faith. They're supposed to produce are they're producing faith. So grow faith is built on the challenges that we face on a daily basis. Your
Yeah.
challenges are not an opportunity for you to watch the enemy come steal, kill, and destroy, but for you to see Jesus come and give you life and life to the fullest. So every time I see
Yes.
a trial, a tribulation, I say, oh, praise God, I have an opportunity to see Jesus come and give me life. How would I know? that Jesus is the giver of life if I never lost something. And I don't think that that's to say that in order
Mm,
for your faith to grow, that you need to experience suffering. No, that's to say that whenever you are challenged, whether it's a small, big, it's an opportunity for you to learn something about who God is. And in that knowledge, you grow to know, okay, God can do this. And that faith increases.
that's good. That's that. Yeah, no, I can't beat that answer. It just makes you have discussed it very well in the book. And what I would say is that I would want people to go buy the book. Uh, the books are very they're very detailed into how to deal with these two virtues as a Christian. And I'm so glad that as a young man, as you're able to write that and explain it very well and give people practical ways of dealing with getting those virtues in the Bible and finding them. So how do you I know you talk about being a coach in writing, and I have a lot of people coming to me asking me how do I write a book, how do I publish a book. um, if you can just explain how writing as a coach, how you work with people to be able to realize their dreams of becoming authors.
Yeah, that's a good question. That's a really good question.
Yeah.
I honestly have found one thing that a lot of people miss out on. I think a lot of people overthink the process. And the
Okay.
first thing that I do as a coach when helping someone is to help them simplify the process of writing as simple as possible. And it's really simple. It's three things. Who are you writing to? Most people think, oh, I just need to package everything of my life. But no, you need to start, who are you writing to? The other is, what do you want them to know? And with that question, there has to be qualifying, what solution are you giving them? If I
Mm.
write a book, it has to present some sort of evidence, some sort of substance that will be able to take one person